Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's 21st July market debrief. What we'll be looking at is the S&P 500 index, what you'll see on the screen. And on Monday night, we had a very big sell-off in the US market. Okay, this big sell-off was quickly so-called recovered, the kind of losses right last night, okay, from the Monday sell-off. And what it shows this is that the bulls and bears are really fighting. Okay, so a lot of people are thinking that a correction is coming, but there's still a lot of money in the market that is still buying the shares up, so you can see that there's an increase in volume happening. All right, so I believe there should be some fighting around in this area over the next 1 week. Okay, so do watch out for your positions. Some of the stocks in the US are also dropping. Okay, so if we look at the much broader market, the Russell 2000, comprising of the 2000 biggest cap in the US, what we will see is that in the bigger perspective, right, since February this year, that the market, the whole general US market is actually trading sideways. Okay, so what are the stocks that is really pushing up is mainly the top 500 market cap companies, the biggest cap, and most of the biggest cap are the tech companies. Okay, so the tech companies are actually the one that is leading. So I would say if the tech companies rally were to end, most likely the whole US market will tumble down. Okay, so we just don't know when this rally or this music will end for the tech companies in the US. So for our Asia market, our Hang Seng index right now is basically trading below the support region. Okay, so what it means that this there will be a short-term weakness in the Hong Kong market. And what is driving this weakness are the Hong Kong banks. And I don't know what is driving that. Okay, so like China, I think recently they cut their reserve ratio, to have more liquidity in the market. Okay, so I don't think that is helping much. Okay, so most likely it's all bound due to fear lah, that the number of COVID cases is going up, and on top of that, the so-called a lot of natural disasters, flooding that's happening, okay, in China. But overall, the China market, this is the Shanghai Composite Index, right, is still trading sideways. All right, as I've mentioned over the past few videos, China is most likely going to trade sideways, and here it is, from this minor support 3005, right, it start to rebound back up again. Okay, so we just have to wait, until the real direction to come up. Okay, and that will be based on a certain catalyst. Okay, we still don't know what is the big catalyst or the next catalyst that is going to move the market in either up or down direction. So for our Singapore market, it's still quiet, it's still trading sideways. Okay, so but us being Singapore being a very small little market, we are very dependent on what is happening around in the world. Okay, and the most important thing that we should be looking out is our number of COVID cases. Okay, so our COVID cases has been on the rise over the past 2 weeks. So first started out with the KTV issues, and then right now fishing issues. Okay, so I think a lot of people are like rushing to buy fish as more and more markets are being forced to shut down. Okay, so in this scenario, right, I would say um, the supermarket is bound to benefit from this. Okay, especially those that has their own aquarium, their own fisheries. What are those? Like Sheng Siong, I believe they have their own fishery, they have their own farms. All right, and you can look into that. So as COVID cases rises, right, so a lot of the companies like your air travel asset SIA are going down, whereas your food dependent and your logistics are going up. Okay, so what are going up is basically your Sheng Siong, your Maple Industrial, your Ascenders REIT, your Maple Logistic, Fraser Logistic. So all these it's like back to our last year lockdown period, so all your like PPE companies also rebounding back up. Okay, so as the cases as this is basically really dependent on our Singapore cases. Is it going up or going down? So at this moment it's still trending up, and I believe there should be more to come. Okay, so just stay tuned over the next few days. Embrace. Okay, so if it's down, a lot of stocks that we plan to hold long term, is also good opportunity to buy more and average down. So looking at the so-called broader picture, in our currency, we look at our US to Sing dollar. Okay, so I've mentioned before, over here that is bound to turn up really, is break above, and I would say it's still looking strong. It's trading above the 200, and it's bound to turn up. So at this moment, it's already traded from 1345. Now it's already trading at 136. I mean, during this period, if you were to like invest in US stocks, before those run, okay, you're basically making double on the currency and also on the positive gains in the stock price. Okay, so but overall, if we look at the dollar index, is also trying to turn up. Okay, it's now testing its previous high done in early March or April period. Okay, so I already said that this is forming a base, and this base seems to be a bit solid, and might look to be turning up, back up. Okay, so this crude oil, it's been trending for some time, and then finally it did a correction. Okay, so this correction will tend to last for a few weeks. Okay, so we just have to wait for it to finish its consolidation, and then you just go back and look for your oil related companies. So as you can see, a lot of the oil companies like your Rex, your Capricorn, Sinopec, all this, right, also follow with this oil future price, and corrected themselves. Okay, so do take note that the prices for oil related companies is bound to come down or correct in a near term. Okay, so do watch out for that. If we are looking at a lot of corrections, then what should we really be looking at? There's really nothing much. Okay, at this moment I can only say there are still stocks that are running high. Okay, but some of the stocks that I've mentioned before, like nanofilm. Okay, for those who have traded, here at the breakout I've mentioned about here, and then over here I say it's still quite strong. Okay, and now having this kind of high and selling down, right, I would say the short-term run should be over. Okay, there should be some short-term pullback or correction happening. Okay, so if you have this, you probably can take like some partial profits in it. UMS Holding, as I've mentioned, those they are related to the tech companies. It seems to be doing well. Okay, it's still strong. Okay, and it's still looking strong. There's some minor pullback, but it's kind of like recovered. Okay, similarly for some other tech stocks like your EM, it looks quite similar to the US market. Rallying all the while, have a big gap down, and then now it tried to recover back up. Okay, so I would say here you will start to consolidate again, and here is also a kind of a resistance. Okay, right here at about 420 421 area. Okay, so that was the resistance based on its previous price action back in April earlier this year. Okay, so most likely it's going to consolidate here for a while, and I mean, if you think the tech stocks are going to make further gains to the end of the year, you can probably look to buy some as it pulls back down. Like make use of the correction or market weakness to buy shares at a cheaper price. So some of the tech related stocks like Franken, as I've mentioned, most of the tech stocks are already running. This one is facing a consolidation last week. So I was saying that this is like, do watch out for this, and it's been rallying for the past 1 week. Okay, there's two big rally days happening, and then it's retesting its previous high. Okay, so most likely I would say if all turns out well and the US side is still continue its rally upwards, making new high, all these tech stocks are bound to follow suit. Okay, so like for Hong Kong, we have your Sunny Optical that is also rallying strongly, after some consolidation, quite similar to Franken. Okay, and it had a rally today. So just now I mentioned about some of the logistic REITs, okay, like Ascendas REIT, your business park, and some industrial REITs in Ascendas REIT. Okay, so currently it's quite well. It's doing well, maintaining above the 200-day moving average, whereas previously it couldn't. It was just a few days before it dropped back down. So currently it's like it managed to stay above the 200-day averages for 1 week. Okay, I would say that is a strong sign, a positive sign. So I would say with such signs, right, most likely there is a higher chance that it might break through this trend line, in the near future. I think we can be hopeful on this. Mapletree Logistics, okay, as I mentioned, those this has some surprisingly wide range, high volatility, but still moving on the upside. Okay, so there is a few days of consolidation. Mapletree Industrial, okay, is it's been trading above the 200-day moving average for like a week already, same like Ascenders REIT. Okay, so it is, I would say, it's positive. And the last logistic related will be your Fraser Logistic and Commercial Trust. Okay, so after this testing of the 200-day moving average, it's been trading upwards, uh, coinciding with our increase in COVID cases. Okay, so that's what happens. And for our PPE companies, we just have a quick look through. Like your MedTech International, there is a rally in the past few days. So all these are like in line with what is happening in in Singapore context. Okay, so this is your Top Glove having this rally the past few days as our COVID cases goes above the 100 mark. So another stock that had a rebound, related to the COVID, is your Riverstone. Okay, so what we are seeing is in the general market, those that are related to PPE, your food, your Sheng Siong, all these companies will have a rebound or a rally, whereas those that are badly affected, like your SATS, your SIA, your travel, will all be coming down. We just have to take note. So once the so-called COVID cases starting to trend down or come down, or under control, all these stock prices will start to reverse. Okay, so we just have to be patient, and see and react accordingly. Okay, some of the other stocks that I've talked about. This is Silver Lake Axis. Okay, there are some interest from private equity firms, and previously I've mentioned that this 26 cents, 26 half is like the support region. Okay, so true enough, after a pullback or a series of sell down, there is some interest in buying here over at the 26 cents area. Okay, so do watch out for this. If it starts to be positive and start to turn back up like 27, 27 half, you can probably look into buying some of this. Okay, Hong Kong land, right at the somewhere 460 area, quite close to the 200-day moving average, and also quite near to this previous support area. Okay, roughly about 460. So the previous support area roughly around here, done back in early February, and so right now here around the 460 area is providing some support. Okay, you can see there's an increase in volume in the selling here and in the buying up over here. All right, so we should be looking at this. If over the long term, when market starts to turn back up, you can probably look into buying this for the next rally upwards. Okay, so overall Hong Kong land is still deeply undervalued, okay, as compared to its other peers in Hong Kong. Okay, this is Credit Bureau Asia. Okay, it deals in credit reports, usually done by banks, in your mortgage, your loans, your credit. Okay, so what we have is that the Credit Bureau Asia, the price has been trading around $1.30 over the past almost 6 months. Okay, so it's been resting very quietly here in the 130 area. and I do not know. I don't. My guess is waiting for its next earnings report. Okay, and looking at our Singapore property market, our property market has been inching up. There are more transactions happening, and with more transaction happening, meaning to say there are more mortgages being done, or mortgages being applied for to banks. As transaction goes up, there are more reports that's being needed by the banks, which I would say in terms of revenue should be higher for Credit Bureau Asia. So I would say there's a higher probability of or chance for it to break out on the upside. Okay, so it's been trading quietly this way is tends to be like a signal, to watch out for this. Another stock that is, I would say there is a change in trading characteristics. Okay, I would say there's more interest right now in SPIA. Okay, so SPIA has been trading like very illiquid, over the past, I don't know, many years. All right, it's been trading very illiquid, but suddenly over the past 1 week there is this huge rally. There's a lot of volume coming in. Okay, so and it's now trading above the 200-day moving average. So I would say there is a change in trading characteristics of this company SPIA. Something might be going on inside. It could be results, it could be privatization, or I do not know. Something is happening. Okay, so you can watch out for this. SPIA in Hong Kong. I think like a month ago or so, I've mentioned about ZA Online, or what you call 中安 Online. So it's been trading sideways for some time, and it tends to have a very big burst move. Okay, very big rally in quick successions. Okay, so this is like previously in last year June. Okay, then earlier this year in February, and then again in sorry, previously in January, and then again in February. Okay, so what happens is past our last week we had one big rally, and then it starts to come back down and retest this 200-day moving average that is now acting like a support about the so-called $44 region. Okay, so do watch out for this. Okay, if we were to break the higher of $49, $50, it might rally back up and retest its previous high here about 70 plus. Okay, so this is ZA Online.